Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. It's Monday the 27th of February, we've got some new mods and we've got some updates. The updates are the Case IH Axial Flow Series by Matt26, the Class Convio Flex Pack by Jeff D25, the Cressetto SBL Pack by DD Mod Passion, the 30-foot flatbed auto loading transport, trailer pack by Mac Trucker 921, the Fliegel Dolly EA by HR Forst and Fazoogbau, the Fliegel Combi Balefork by Rick Black Label TWD Modding, and the Rally Track Pack by Zares Holtz Velton have all had updates. We start with the medium Farmhouse. This is by Raider, 15.43 megabytes download, 18 slots on console, 45,000 to buy. Sleep trigger is just there. Wardrobe trigger is around the back. I don't think we've got lighting that we can put on outside. You can't go into the building. Nicely detailed, bit of decoration around it as well, weathered, etc. You'll find it under build mode and farmhouses. That's the medium farmhouse by Raider. Next we have got this is nuts. This is the pack of 5 rustic machine sheds by Rockhound, 45.49 megabytes download. As it says, there are 5 machine sheds in this pack. Each one of them has this shed with the awning, but then they all come with various different additions onto them. Some of which are a little bit nuts, but hey, go with it, that's what I say. Nicely made, nicely detailed, again nicely weathered, textured. Big door to the side here, one at the other end and one dead central. What we've also got, as you can see, nice big skylights on the top, but it does have lighting in here as well. If we open that one up, light switches, we have got turn outside lights off or on. Nice solid switch, that's what you're looking for. And then inside lights off or on. That's the same on each of the sheds. So the doors are the same, lighting's the same on each of the sheds. So this first one is just a shed. 14 slots, 80 grand to buy. I'll show you them all in the build mode in just a moment. Then next, I'm just doing the order it is in the build mode really. We've got the silo version. So this is 20 slots, 285 grand to buy. Same building, but on the back we've got a silo. Now, wait for it. This has got a 50 million litre capacity. But it does also say in the description, if you need to add a silo extension on, you can. But it's only standard crop types. It does say bulk storage, but I checked it with the trailer and it will only do your regular crop type. So it's not a multi-fruit silo. If you're doing harvesting on a map or a field and you've got 50 million litres of stuff, you're doing incredibly well. Into the silo is done here, out of the silo is done here. And as I said, the building itself is the same with light switches down the side. Then we come a little bit further along. This one is the same shed, but this is with diesel storage. This one you'll find under containers. Same building, but on the side we've got diesel storage. Again, wait for it. 1.5 million litres of diesel storage you can buy for 2,062,500, or in increments going from 1 litre up. Now if you want to spend a bit of time, it's £1, euro or dollar for 1 litre. So if you did 1 litre at a time, you could do 1.5 million for 1.5 million. Couldn't you? Thinking about it. You do 2 at a time. That's where the price starts to go, and then it goes a little bit more, you know. But if you just want to save time and you're desperate for 1.5 million litres, honestly, I don't know how you get through 1.5 million litres, but if you want to, you absolutely can. Building's the same, as I said before. Then we come to next, same building, but this one has got a fuel point, like a fuel station, gas station for refilling. And then the final one, that one is, did I say how much that one was? I didn't, did I? That one was 16 slots, 98 grand to buy. The one that's got the diesel storage. This one with the fuel point is 17 slots, 96 grand. And on the end, we've got the same building with a workshop trigger, which is 14 slots and 85 grand to buy. I have to say, for the size of the building as well, I mean, for 80 to 90 grand Obviously, if you go for the 50 million litre silo, then that's a bit more pricey. But for the size of building you're getting, it'll take you quite a while to fill that up, I reckon. So, as I said, under sheds for the first one. Just there, 80 grand, slot count comes down to 1. Then if we go to silos, is where you'll find that one there, 285 grand, 50 million litre capacity, slot count comes down to 1 on that one. If we then go to containers, that's where you'll find the one with the diesel storage, 1.5 million litres, 98 grand, slot count comes down to 1. Then if we go to tools, that's where you find the last two. So that's the one with the fuel point, 96 grand, and that one there is the one with the workshop for 85 grand. I still can't go with that 50 million litres. Madness. That's by Rockhound. Next we've got the garage for machines. This is by VN 11.0. 9.33 megabytes download, 36 slots on console for 45 grand. You'll find it under build mode and sheds. Very bright, this one. Nice and light. We do have light switch inside. There are lights for each different section. This one here has got the light switch just there. There is a ladder that takes you up over the top. You can't, I mean, I suppose you could put stuff up there, but... And then we've got the end section here, which is inside that. There's not a workshop trigger in here, but this does have a door on the side as well, so access from two sides. And lights on that bit as well. A little bit of decoration on this too. Build mode, sheds. Just there, 45 grand, slot count comes down to 2. That's the garage for machines by VN 11.0 or 11.0. Next we've got these, the VDI Sheds, VertexDezign Industries, I think, is it? By VertexDezign. 5.4 megabytes download, 5 slots each. We've got a small and we've got a large. There's a slight difference in the depth of the large one. Lighting is, there's a light switch just around the corner here. That's the same on both. Nicely made, nicely weathered. There's a nice bit of weathering down the side, like a little bit of dirt and dust kind of build up on there as well. But for all intents and purposes, they are a newer looking shed, as you can see. And the larger one is a little bit deeper. Also under build mode and sheds just on the end. So for the smaller one of the two, 57,500. For the slightly larger one, 60,500. Not a lot of difference in price actually. I suppose it depends on the space you've got, but yeah, I would go for the large one personally, but that's just me. Let's turn the lights off on that one. Save a bit of energy. That's the VDI Sheds by VertexDezign. Now we've got the Cow Husbandry Pack. This is by Lancyboi. 31.52 megabytes download. 22 slots on console for this one, which is just the barn. I say barn. The animals are kept within the shed. And then 25 slots for the one that's got a pasture on the side of it as well. This one will hold 125 cows, that one will hold 200 cows. As you can see, we've got our trough section on the front here. This is putting the feed in. We have got gates to open. Like so, on the various different sections. On the back section here as well. Come around to this end. That's your slurry point. The milk point is just inside there, so you need to open this gate here to get to your milk point. Just there. Lighting is just here, so we can turn the shed lights on and off here. We'll close that gate before that one gets out. And then dialogue box is just here outside the gate. Like I said, 125 cows on this one. And if we go forward and we open this gate, this is where you put your bedding in. So straw bedding trigger is just here. You can open this gate as well, and you can drive in and simulate stuff, whatever you want to do. It's entirely up to you. But again, Lancyboi mod, same as VertexDezign, and really nicely made, nicely detailed. So that's the first one. And the one with the pasture. Feed trough is in the same place. Milk is in the same place. Slurry comes out in the same place. Dialogue box in the same place. Now it does have a trigger inside for bedding, but there's also one upside here. So I did it here, but you can do it in either one, doesn't really matter. These will hold 60,000 litres of total mixed ration to capacity and 38,000 litres of bedding. I think that's what I worked out at. If you want to have manure in either of them, then you're going to have to place a manure heap separately. Because you put straw in for bedding, you will get manure, and as I said, like the slurry is coming out there. Gates open and close, just like they did on the previous one. And I think the light switch is in the same place as well. Pretty sure it is. Turn on shed lights. There we go. Lovely job. They do look good. Under build mode, under animals is where you find them. Under cows. So the smaller of the two, does 125 cows, is 200 grand. Slot count will come down to 1. And the one that holds 200 with the grass yard, open grass yard, 250 grand to buy. Slot count also comes down to 2. Says 100,000 litres. I think that's the capacity for milk, so it will store 100,000 litres before it would need emptying. But you're probably likely to sell it before, or sell your milk before you get to that point. So there we go. That's the Cow Husbandry Pack by Lancyboi. Next, we have got over here the Väderstad Rapid A800 Special by timbertaz, which is this just here. It is 15.81 megabytes download, 18 slots on console, and 8 meters wide. It is a direct drill as well, so no need for cultivation. You can direct drill with it, but it does come with some extra nice features on it. I have got it open at the moment. There is a warning though I will give you. This will only do seed, doesn't do seed and fertilizer. However, I tried to fill this up from a buy anything silo like the ones I've got over there. And it should just take seed. It then took solid fertilizer. Didn't show it as taking solid fertilizer, but it took it and took it and took it. I'm thinking that's really weird. When I stopped, it charged me a fortune, and this thing weighed an absolute ton. But it wasn't showing any solid fertilizer in there, so the seed didn't go in, but it filled with solid fertilizer, which is very peculiar. So just be careful. If you go to fill this up from a buy anything silo, you could potentially end up with a load of solid fertilizer and get charged for it, and you can't do anything with it. So just be cautious of that. It's nicely detailed, nicely made. I'll show you the options and you'll see why. It's got some nice extras that come with it. You'll find it under seeders out on the end there. 159,500 by 240 horsepower required. Slot count will come down to 1. As you can see, it will do standard seeder types, crop types, and it will only take seed is what it says. So we've got the option of, now it says pipe front tank. So if I put that on, that puts a pipe through. This allows you to run a front seed tank, or it does say there's the saddle track seed tank. There's a really big one that will attach the pipe to the front. If you go for the pipe option on there, I'll show you because I've got it set up and we'll hook it up. You've got track eraser, that's on the front there. So from your tractor tyres, that will cultivate those a little bit to remove those. Have that on or off, you don't have to. Work lights, we've got extra work lights, yes or no. Packer wheels, that adds more packer wheels on the front there. Beacon, standard or extra beacon. Or then you've got wing wheels, so it adds wing wheels on there just to support the wings when they come down. Attachers, standard or trailer attacher. Trailer attacher, it's not unusual for a seeder to have a trailer attacher, so you can run a roller on the back. So you can seed and do your rolling all at the same time, which makes life a little bit easier too. Then there's a license plate option on there as well. So what we'll do, start this up. 3,100 litres is what it will hold. Open and close cover, it's done there. Folding. And unfolding. Now, that bit at the back there that normally leaves the little tracks behind for where your sprayers will go, I can't find an option on here for raising or lowering that. So I just thought I'd mention that. But we do have ridge markers. If you want your ridge markers. And then if we go forward to seed, turn it on, drop it down, and as you can see we're seeding very nicely, as it is a direct drill straight into a crop that's recently been harvested. If I turn that off and we go backwards, what I'll do, hopefully we'll have enough oomph to pull this with the rear trailer attacher. Now the roller on this one is a little bit wider, but that's alright. And then I'll show you what I mean. If you've gone for that front pipe option, so if you've gone for the black pipe there, and we hook up this, which comes as part of, this was a Giants pack, wasn't it? The Väderstad. There you go. So the pipe will hook up to the front as well. So we should be able to do. If I just hire a worker, that'd be a little bit easier, wouldn't it? Oh, will it not let me hire a worker? Oh, I wonder why. Oh, there we go. So, roller down, seeder down. So we can seed and roll at the same time. Now admittedly it's going to roll bits I haven't done because this roller is a little bit too wide. There are other rollers, but it doesn't matter because then we come back and do it down and do our next pass, it will roll again. But so we're doing it all in one pass with the front seed tank on there as well. Pipe attaching to it. I like it. That's very cool indeed. See if I can say it correctly this time. So there we go. That's the Väderstad Rapid A800 Special by timbertaz. Next, we've got this, the Seppi Miniforst CL175. This is by BlackEyes Modding. 14.2 megabytes download, 8 slots on console, 1.8 meters wide. This is a forestry mulcher, stump grinder. It will take out stumps, it will take out trees, it will get rid of brush and branches. It will also, if you want it to, cultivate too while you're doing it. So for a bit of forestry work, it's designed to work on a skid steer loader. So you'll find it on a forestry just there. 12,000 to buy, slot count will come down to 1 from the original 8. Now you can have field creation active or inactive. Now I've got it active at the moment, but again, if you've put it on and decide you don't want it, you can always turn it off at a toolbox or a workshop or whatever you want to do. There's no other options, you get it just like that. So you can't really turn that on or off once it's active, but I have got a toolbox there, so I could have wanted to switch it to inactive. So if we start it up, we're on our skid steer loader. We do have L1, R1 right stick up and down. We can open and close that cover a little bit if we want to. There you go, stump gone immediately, which is fine. I've got a few logs and stuff over here that's kind of in the way. Got rid of all that really without thinking too much about it, because I've got the cultivation bit active. If I drop that down enough as we go along, we can also do that. But as you can see, it is bringing up large rocks, just be aware of that. Bushes gone, and then if we go to, we could do one of the larger trees, but it will do. Just trying to think of one we can get to a little bit easier. Over here will be a little bit easier. So yeah, it's designed to go on one of these, so we can get in and out of areas that larger machinery and equipment might not necessarily be able to get to. Tree comes down, stump is gone, tree's gone. It doesn't mess about. And like I said, you can then switch off the cultivation bit if you just want it for stump grinding and tree removal, but you don't want to be ploughing out the ground and leaving massive rocks as you go. You don't have to. There we go. That's the Seppi Miniforst CL175 by BlackEyes Modding. Next, we've got this. This is the Lemken Topas 140. This is by NicoPix's, 3.99 megabytes download, 3 slots on console. We can have it 3 or 4 meters wide, front or rear mounted. It is a cultivator at the moment. It's in front mounted position. You can tell that by the angle of the shanks, the direction they're pointing. If I put it on the back, it would point the wrong way. But there are some options to change that around. You will find it under cultivators. right out there. 17,500, 120 horsepower required. So at that position, it's front mounted. We can switch it to that position, which you can put on the rear then, because as you can see, the attacher this side, I mean, you might get away with it. I'm just trying to think where those jockey wheels are, maybe. In that position, I would say that's front mounted again. And then that one, definitely that's rear mounted. So you might get away with that. I think it's in line with that one. So a few different options on there, depending on what you want, front or rear. You got signal plate, yes, without light, with light on the front, with light on the back, or off. So again, if you're in front or rear mounted, you can decide where you want your lights on it. You've then got wing shares or flat shares, and then 3 meter or 4 meter are your two options. So we should get a situation now where, fingers crossed, we'll find out if this is a shallow or deep-ish cultivator. Let's drop it down. There we go. So it's not a shallow cultivator. This will bring up small stones, which can be rolled back in if you want to roll them back in. Jockey wheels at the front doing their job. A little bit of movement on that as well, which I like. A little bit of animation movement where it's hitting the sort of bit of resistance in the ground. Although I did put the lights the wrong way around. I just realised, look. Here's me saying that and I put them the wrong way around. So there you go. The Lemken Topas 140 by NicoPix is next. We have these, the American Flatbed Pack by GamerDesigns, 25.83 megabytes download, 10 slots, 9 slots and 4 slots. 10 slots for the longer trailer, 9 slots for the shorter trailer, 4 slots for the dolly that comes with the pack. You can have it as a bale trailer. This is not auto load, it's standard. You have a bale trailer option. There's one with side supports for logs, or this one which I quite like, which is a lumber one. So if you're using the Platinum expansion or something like that, and you've got the long planks or the wooden boards or the big sections that come on pallets, they're designed to sit on these wooden supports that are on the back for transportation of those things. Nice little addition on there. You can have an option with trailer hitch, so you could realistically run multiple ones of these. If you're doing forestry, as long as you've got enough horsepower up the front, you could string a whole load of these together and run them however you want, really. So you'll find these under trailers. The American flatbed trailer, 22 grand. That's the longer one. The shorty flatbed trailer, 16 grand. Both slot counts come down to 1. Options are the same on both of them. So flatbed trailer, log bunks or lumber setup are your 3 choices. Wheel setup, we've got standard, spread axle or triple axle. Racks at the front, you've got none. Forestry rack, headache rack, solid or none. If I go put that on because it gets some options for that in a second. Rear hitch, none. Trailer back attacher. The main colour, we've got a whole load to choose from here, with glosses and satins and mattes and things like that. So let's go for that one, for example. Log bunks, if you've got the log bunks, it gives you the option to change the colour of the log bunks. The rack, whether you've gone for the forestry rack or not, there's metallics up the top as well. There's all sorts to be looking at. Rim colour, there's a black, chrome or the standard white. And then the license plate option on there as well. Same goes, all the same options on this one, including rear hitch. And then if we come down to, where are we? Dollies. That one in the middle there, the 669 dolly, 4 grand. Slot count will come down to 1. You can have off-road or street tyres. Main colour choice. Rim colour choice. Far more rim colour options on the dolly actually, just realised that. And license plate option there as well. Now, at the moment, straps are on. You see underneath, you can just see the buckles, but they won't. They're not showing on the front. If I turn those on or off, you see them disappear like that. So they are there. They can be done from in-cab or manually outside, but you need something on the actual flatbed itself for them to show, to hook over something. Same goes for if you've got the, well, depends how you've got these hooked up. The shorter one. Whoa. Lights, indicators on both. And then if I disconnect that one, then the dolly, then the trailer. There you go. Fairly straightforward. Like I say, that's a nice long trailer. If you have that with a log bunk, and then have, I mean, you have 3 or 4 of those with some of the TLX and the Mantrid Roadrunner as well, that have got like 1,800 horsepower, crazy amounts of horsepower. You should be able to pull multiple log trailers, no problem at all. That's the American Flatbed Pack by GamerDesigns. Next, we've got the Lizard Bandeirante Brazil. This is by Conta Comigo Modding. It is 26.43 megabytes download, 16 slots for the vehicle, then 4 slots and 3 slots for the trailer. This is a wooden sided, I say trailer back, should I say. That's wood sided, and that's just a little pickup back. These don't have capacities, but they do have straps, so for bales and pallets and things like that, you can put those in, no problem at all. If we go to our vehicles and cars, just there, 55 grand, slot count comes down to 1 from 16. We've got the option of Continental with no tyre choices, Lizard with those 2, Michelin with that one, and then back to Continental again. Sticker design, design 1, 2, or off. Attachers standard or with the rear trailer hitch, you go on the back as well if you want. Main colour, anything on that palette. Colour 2, does the bumpers. There are some metallics in here as well. Design colour does the roof. Then there's license plate option on there as well. And then if we come out of there and go to tools and miscellaneous, is that what they were? Yeah, there we go. The wooden body and the original bodywork, 25 grand a piece, 1 slot each. We've got mud flap design on this one, design 1, or solid across the back, design 2. Main colour. Colour 2 does the stripe down the side. And then this one just has a main colour option. Like so. So, let's hop in, start it up. Lights, indicators. There's no doors or windows that open on this one. There's no reverse alarm. It's a nice bit of suspension movement on this as well, I do like. It's weird, isn't it? I know it's South American, Brazilian, but it has a, weirdly, I don't know why, it reminds me of like Australian utes, like I don't know. So, this one, unfold tipper, does that. When you do the straps, it puts them over the top because it's assuming that you will only strap it down once you've got the stuff in the back, so it's allowing for the back to be like that. But for loading on, makes life a little bit easier. Unhooking does the same thing with the jacks, puts them back right up, and then we get released, needs the pickup back on it as well. There you go. This one, unfold tipper, just adjusts the back like that, and as you can see we've got straps on or off. Interior, there's not a lot going on, but it's a fairly standard vehicle. It's got an engine, it's got a gearbox, it's got wheels. That's what you need. No aircon, no snazzy radios, sat navs. There you go. The Lizard Bandeirante Brazil by Conta Comigo Modding. And lastly, we have got two maps again today. Just before I finish, Oh, I don't know. We've got American Farmlands by TK Farms and Hills of Tuscany by Johnny X Pro. I will do my best. That's all I can say. So, lastly, we've got the Lizard T30 by Cashdown18 and Hatchback Modding. 27.99 megabytes download and 19 slots on console. This is one of those ones, we had it on 19, didn't we? Where you can kind of simulate a rebuild of the tractor, so you can have it stripped right down to practically nothing, which is really cool. I do like it. It's a nice looking little tractor. It's quite loud, this one, but you will find it under vehicles, under small tractors, 19,500. We've got 32 horsepower and 35 horsepower options. We've got wheel brand Lizard High and High 2. Wheel setup standard, wide track, standard 2, wide track 2. I honestly couldn't tell. Standard, wide track. I couldn't tell the difference between standard and standard 2 in all honesty. Anyway, and wide track. We then got front attached. This is weights, so you've got 40 kilo, 80, 120 or off. Wheel weights on the back. 90 kilo rear, 132, 148, no. Actually, I'll put one of those on because we're going to need at least one. Front fenders, metal or plastic. Back window, hang on a minute, was that to do with, hang on, let's have a check on this. So standard, it changes the wheel type. Wide track. Standard 2 changes the wheel type. There we go. I couldn't work out from there. I was looking at the tyre choices, but it's actually the wheel itself that changes, isn't it? There we go. Sorry. Oh, that's the other thing as well. It was the weights I was looking for, thinking, hang on a minute, I'm sure it was a front weight. So if you go for the standard or wide track, it gives you a front weight option as well. Oh no, that's the front weight. Hang on a minute. I thought I had weights on the front tyres. Anyway, doesn't matter. Then we've got back window. So whilst there isn't a cab on there, there's the back window down there that looks down to the 3 points. So we've got standard, we've got metal right the way across, or we've got open completely. Then we've got work lights, yes or no. Mud flaps, short, long, mega. I think I went for mega. Then we've got covers on the front, that's around the battery boxes. Covers on those, yes or no. Attachers, this is on the back. It starts on type 2, which is weird. We've got type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. We've got cabin, yes or no. But you've got mirrors type 1, mirrors type 2, and then back off again. I'm going to leave it like that for a moment, because then you've got hood and front lights standard, without the grille. Lights type 2, without grille. You can then go no hood at all, no hood and no lights. So if you went like that, like I said before, you've got that kind of storyline. If I even went off and took the mud flaps off, the work lights off, you can simulate a whole build process, which I think is absolutely brilliant. So you can kind of gradually add all those bits on with covers if you wanted covers on. Same with the attachers. You don't have to have the weights on there when you start off, but that would be cool. Cabin on, and then you can change that and go for whichever version that you want as you kind of gradually build it up. Engine colour does the bottom section, all underneath in the engine. Fenders and hood colour, got a few different ones there, kind of muted, more worn and weathered look. Dummy grille front, we have silver and there's beige and there's all sorts of colours, but that does that, so I've done the front one there. Wheel weight colour, wheel weight colour 2. Which one does that do? Or is that inside? Yeah, it might be inside there. Then we've got rim colour. So we can change that as well. And license plate. So, quite a few different options to be looking at. Let's hop in and start it up. Actually, I'll come back a little bit. Lights. Indicators. Under L1, right stick side to side. We've got the door that opens. And then right stick up and down. We can open and close the window. I said it's quite loud. Let's go inside. We're still quite loud inside in all honesty. What I do like as well, if you look down to the right of the steering wheel, as we go forward, you can actually see the ground through the floor as well, which I think is brilliant. If you've gone for the window at the back, oh, the seat's obscuring it actually, so you can't actually see down to the hitch. There you go. Lovely little tractor. The Lizard T30 by Cashdown18 and Hatchback modding. That's it for the mods for Monday the 27th of February. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.